Our first game is Far Cry 3, and I'm sure you've played it and loved it as much as I did. Even after 10 years, the final scene still makes us face tough choices. Our main character, Jason Brody, crashes on an island with a group of friends. They are captured by Vass, and while trying to escape the island, Jason's brother Grant Brody is killed. This event serves as the core motivation for the game and instills a sense of revenge in us. After his brother's death, Jason embarks on a journey similar to John Wick, eliminating every obstacle in his path. At this point, the game shows us how a person's emotions can change and how a bad day can transform someone. We can deeply feel the transformation in Jason's soul, much like the philosophy of the Joker. With the help of Dennis Rogers, we blend into the Rakyat tribe and meet Citra. She tells us that we must become a warrior of the Rakyat and helps us become spiritually stronger. After killing Vass and Hoyt Volker, Jason, now a well-known figure on the island, faces two difficult choices in the final scene. Should he choose his friends or Citra? This choice is very difficult because we have our friends involved. If we choose our friends, Citra dies and we return home from the island. However, after all these events, it's impossible to go back to our old life. If we choose Citra, our friends die and Jason stays on the island with her. In the final scene, we realize that Citra kills Jason and plans to have a child with him, raising him as a new Rakyat warrior. This event creates the game's dramatic and thought-provoking ending. Our next game is Guardians of the Galaxy, which is even better than the movie it's based on, especially in terms of the characters. It offers an enjoyable experience as you embark on an adventure through space as Star-Lord. Your relationships with your team members, Rocket, Groot, Gamora, and Drax, are central to both the action and the storyline. This game brings both humorous and emotional moments, offering an adventure shaped by your choices. However, Star-Lord's past and his bond with his mother add emotional depth to the game. Marvel fans will know that Star-Lord's mother died of a brain tumor in the film, but in this game, she is killed by aliens. The loss of his mother has left a deep mark on Star-Lord, and his memories of her and his struggle to cope with the grief make his character more human and relatable. In one part of the game, Star-Lord meets a group that can bring dead people back to life. They capture Star-Lord to show off their power and plan to send him back to the day his mother died. Star-Lord fights aliens there to save his mother, but eventually both Star-Lord and we realize this is all just a dream world. At this point, the game offers two choices. In the first choice, Star-Lord stays in the dream world with his mother, but becomes trapped and the game ends. In the second choice, Star-Lord kills his mother to return to the real world and wakes up. This choice greatly intensifies the emotional weight of the game.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it.
Our next game is The Walking Dead 2012, an adventure game developed by Telltale Games. Set during the zombie apocalypse, the game puts players in control of Lee Everett, a character who tries to build trust among survivors. The game offers a story shaped by the player's choices and stands out for its emotional depth. Lee attempts to protect a young girl named Clementine while struggling to survive, with moral dilemmas and character relationships at the forefront. Its graphic style, interactive dialogues, and story-driven structure have earned the game widespread acclaim. The relationship between Lee and Clementine evolves throughout the game. Lee becomes a father-like figure, protecting and guiding Clementine. However, at one point, Lee is bitten by a zombie. Faced with the choice to amputate his arm to stop the infection from spreading, the player's decision doesn't ultimately change the outcome. Lee's condition worsens, and the virus spreads throughout his body. Lee and Clementine eventually find themselves in a store, where Lee cuffs himself to a shelf to protect Clementine. At this point, the player is presented with a difficult choice. Though the result won't change, the player must decide whether to end Lee's suffering by putting him out of his misery or to leave him to die slowly in pain. This decision marks one of the most emotional moments in the game, affecting both Lee and Clementine. The next game, known as the Spirit of Sparta, is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. At the start of this game, you can choose between Cassandra or Alexios. While this choice doesn't have a direct impact on the storyline, it does create some differences in the characters' reactions. As with other games, family bonds play an important role here as well. The game forces us to make difficult choices regarding our family, and one of the hardest decisions I faced was about our brother Deimos. After finding our mother, she asked us to find Deimos, our brother, and bring him back to the family. After encountering our brother Deimos, we have have several choices to make. These decisions affect the final battle of the game. When we meet Deimos, there are two options. Accept Deimos back into the family or kill him. Forgive him and choose not to attack him. The challenge here is deciding how to approach Deimos during our first encounter. If we treat him well, he may kneel and return to the family during the final encounter.
This belonged to our grandfather.
However, if we treat him harshly and scold him, he might later betray us and kill our mother. This presents a very tough decision.
But the gods are cruel.
Personally, I chose not to treat him well during the first encounter, as I found it hard to do so. In the end, I treated him harshly during the first encounter and then chose to attack him, telling him there was no place for him in our family. I killed him and saved our mother. However, our mother abandoned us for killing our brother and lying to her.
I want you to leave Sparta. Go! Leave Sparta. And never come back.
As a result of the choices we made regarding family bonds, we end up sitting at a table with those we've forgiven and accepted back into the family. But in the end, I was left alone. Ghost of Tsushima begins in 1274 on Tsushima Island, Japan. The Mongol Empire launches an invasion of Japan, and Tsushima becomes the first target of this assault. Jin Sakai is one of the last samurais of Tsushima and fights on the front lines to defend the island. However, the traditional samurai combat methods prove insufficient against the Mongols' superior military strength. In Ghost of Tsushima, Jin Sakai realizes that following the samurai code is not enough to defeat the Mongols and starts using more ruthless methods as the ghost. This leads to a major conflict with his uncle, Lord Shimura. Shimura believes that Jin has betrayed the samurai code and begins to fight against him. At the end of the game, the player is faced with two critical choices. Kill Lord Shimura. Jin rejects the samurai code and kills his uncle to protect his people. This decision reflects his choice to continue fighting as the ghost. Kill Lord Shimura. Jin accepts his uncle's ideals and continues to fight, staying true to the samurai honor. However, not killing his uncle can also be seen as disrespecting his own honor. Both choices highlight the conflict between Jin's identity and values. Jin is torn between his loyalty to samurai honor and family bonds and his desire to protect his people as the ghost. Our next choice-based game is Detroit. In this game, a war breaks out between humans and robots. Sometimes robots are treated so ruthlessly that when we see the humans' actions, we choose to side with the robots. On the other hand, when robots act mercilessly towards humans, we choose to side with the humans. In the game, we have to choose between Connor or Marcus. If we choose the human side, all robots are destroyed. If we choose the robot side, they destroy the humans. The game is filled with choices from start to finish, and making these decisions is really difficult. Our next game is A Way Out. In this game, our character Leo commits a robbery and ends up in prison. In prison, he meets a character named Vincent, and together they try to escape. Towards the end of the game, they are caught by the police. We learn that Vincent was secretly placed in prison to take revenge on his deceased brother. The game shows us the events and emotions of both characters. At the end of the game, we have to make a difficult choice between Leo and Vincent. If we choose Leo, Vincent dies. We see Vincent's funeral, and Leo sends the letter Vincent wrote to his own family before walking away. If we choose Vincent, Leo dies, and Vincent delivers the sad news to Leo's family. We see Leo's funeral, and then the game ends. Our next game is Maid of Sker. The game starts when the main character comes to an island to find their missing girlfriend. If you make a sound, you die, so you must remain silent. At the end of the game, when we find our girlfriend, she asks us to find the cylinder. When we find and bring the cylinder, the game gives us two options. Either give the cylinder to your girlfriend or don't. If we give her the cylinder, she uses it to defeat us. Here we realize that her brain is being controlled, and the game ends with a bad ending. However, if we don't give her the cylinder, the main character starts playing the piano and our girlfriend begins to recover. This option leads to a better ending.
Dan, we must...
Our next game is Until Dawn. A group of young people goes to a mountain lodge for fun, but terrifying events begin to unfold. Chris, his new girlfriend Ashley, and his childhood friend Josh are forced to make difficult decisions. We are kidnapped by an unknown person, and we have to make tough choices similar to those in the Saw films. Chris has to choose between his girlfriend Ashley and his childhood friend Josh. If he chooses Ashley, Josh dies. But if he chooses Josh, Josh still dies. In this case, Chris's relationship with Ashley will be ruined. As the game progresses, if their relationship continues to deteriorate, Ashley will abandon Chris and stop helping him. The real problem is that Josh is the one behind all these events. Our final game is GTA 5. The giant of the gaming world, GTA 5, forces us to make a choice at the end. Our main characters have pulled off the big heist. Devin comes to Franklin's house and asks him to kill Michael. Franklin then presents us with 3 different options and asks us to make a decision. After this, there are 3 choices in the game. 1. Kill Trevor. Michael contacts Trevor and convinces him to meet. While Franklin and Trevor are about to meet, Franklin tells Trevor to kill him. Trevor starts to flee and a chase begins. Michael stops Trevor with his car, and together they kill Trevor. Afterward, they go their separate ways, and the game ends.
Franklin! I guess that's that then. It is what it is.
2. Kill Michael. If we choose to kill Michael, even though Trevor is asked to kill Michael, he refuses.
Well, I can't! You're turning on him? I have had enough traitors in my life!
Man, your ass could say thank you. Shit.
You deserve each other!
This shows that despite being a bad person, Trevor is an honorable man. In this choice, it is a sad moment because Trevor does not fulfill the request to kill Michael. In the end, Michael begins to run to avoid harming Franklin, and Michael dies.
Ah, shit. We in the corner, bro. This'll get me out. We'll put you up to this. Trevor, you're an idiot. We should take him out together, right now. We'll roll on team. I brought you into my home, Franklin! Ah! You man! I was your bitch! I couldn't even stand on the barrel of your gun any fucking time! Ah! Ah! Wreck! Ah! 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 Ah!
3. The third way. Option. In this choice, all the main characters survive. After a long journey, Devin is caught thanks to Franklin. During this time, Michael jokingly presents options to Devin. In the end,
I picked C. Ain't that a bitch?
You know, Devin, the way I see it, and hey, I'm no intelligent businessman like you, but the way I see it, there's 2 great evils that bedevil American capitalism of the type that you practice. Number 1 is outsourcing. You paid a private company to do your dirty work for you. And then you underpaid that company because you thought you were big enough and bad enough that you didn't have to play by the rules. Oh, number 2, offshoring your profits.
Offshore.
Oh, it's horrible. You wouldn't want to be sent offshore just to save a little money, would you, T?
Devin dies and the game ends. The choice you make is an important factor that changes the course of the story in the GTA 5 finale. My personal choice is the third way option because all the main characters survive this way. That's the end of the video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for our hard work. See you soon.